For real, Fred?
Yeah, Holmeson, let them be.
How long have they been doing that?
They will never stop.
And where are they now?
They were fleeing with a chopper.
Mike and Shauna didn't mention it.
They didn't know. It was Anderson's idea. To get them away from everything.
No wonder why they were broadcasting. Anderson told you about this.
No, after the explosion at the diner, their network was offline and their broadcasts were jammed.
What about the FF forces? How did they get mixed up with them?
When their chopper got hit, they came crashing across the lake. On shore, there was a boat near their crash site. They found a boat near the lake. They used that to leave the shore. On their way, there was a camp near the park. That's where they encountered the captain of the FF forces.
Did the captain explain why his squad ambushed Shauna?
After the breaking news, the IA were accused of conspiracy and involvements with the outbreak.
They got nothing to do with that.
I know that. The media was looking for someone to blame. That's what caught the attention of a lot. The captain knows that his troops crossed paths with the girl. The captain didn't make the call, said his men were acting on their own because of what they heard from rumors. He had his squad on surveillance. He ordered them to return to the base before they could pursue Shauna. It was a mistake. The units were wrong. They worked things out and they put their differences aside. Anderson and Mike was good, but Shauna got injuries from the crash site. McLean filled Anderson in on what he was up to, and Shauna was given the medical treatment she needed.
What did McLean want in return?
To apprehend their boss, Rod Wang.
The IA's boss? For what?
They say he was responsible for the outbreak.
Does McLean have proof?
It was on the news, and they have a warrant on the old man.
So, Anderson and the others were going to give up the old man.
During the discussion, Anderson gets a call from his boss, Rod Wang. McLean asks Anderson if it's him, ask him where he is so his men can take him in. Anderson answers the call. Rod Wang asks him, "Where are you?" Anderson tells him, "We're still trying to cross the lake." Rod Wang says, "Don't. It's the Freedom Fighters camp. If they see you, they'll kill you." There was no time to talk. Rod Wang needed Anderson and the others to return to the IA van at the diner.
The same place where the outbreak was originated?
Yeah. Rod Wang said he'll see them there. McLean said he and his troops will go with Anderson and his friends and grab their boss when he pulls up. Anderson informed Mike and Shauna about it.
Can they trust this McLean dude?
Not trust, cooperate. They left the park, made their way alone to the city where the plague was originated. Their idea is to advance, shoot everything that moves, and meet up with Rod Wang.
Anderson, Mike, and Shauna, they were exposed by the SWAT valve. They were bitten, and they weren't infected. And why is that?
Their boss, Rod Wang, has much to answer for. When they got to the diner, no one was there.
Their van?
No.
The captain?
No.
Their employer?
While they wait, Rod Wang was there. He was making sure that Anderson, Mike, and Shauna came on their own. When they were, he pulled up across the street. He called them out so they can follow him. And they did. Rod Wang got into his vehicle and drove. Anderson and the others got into their van and went after him. After a high-speed chase, they stopped and they got to Rod Wang's lab. They got in, their employer was there. He told them his side of the story.
What did he say?
That he got nothing to do with the crisis. Said that the freedom fighters are the cause of all this, and he got framed for it. They didn't believe him until McLean showed up. They asked McLean if Rodwin was spitting the truth. McLean admitted to the whole thing. Everything Rodwin said about McLean and his organization is true. After McLean made his confession, he cut Rodwin down and escaped. When Rodwin was down with his last breath, he gave Anderson, Mike, and Shanna the notes on creating the antigen formula to prevent the sphere virus from spreading.
It turned out the old man was a good guy after all.
Even though he treated Anderson, Mike, and Shanna like guinea pigs.
It's surprising they weren't infected like everybody else.
Anyway, they found all the necessary components to produce the antigen formula. Catalyst, antitoxin, blood bag from a late test subject.
Why didn't they use their own blood samples since they're living?
They weren't mentioned in the formula. Then Mike found a hidden door behind the bookshelf. Inside, there was a secret lab. There were glass chambers, documents, computers, and recordings. They discovered that their blood can help produce the antigen formula. Then Addie showed up.
The TV producer? What was she doing there?
She's the head of the research lab. She's only a TV producer by title. She knew what they were doing, and she filled them in on their next move. They needed to expose the freedom fighters' role in this disaster.
They have what they need. What's left?
For them to drop the cure on the face of the city, or the officials will launch a nuclear strike.
Why would the officials want to do that?
To suppress the infection. They fear it, Holmeson. There's a helicopter at the fire station. Addie recommended them to use that while she alerted the federal authorities of the situation.
And they did.
Long story short, they made it to the fire station. When Anderson got in the chopper, McLean showed up. And he struck Mike and Shanna down. Then Anderson got out the chopper. He beat the hell out of McLean. When he was finished, he helped Mike and Shanna up. They got into the chopper and went up, spreading the antigen to the city. Everybody was saved from the infection. The government and the military has aborted the nuclear strike. The official investigation reveals that it was caused by the freedom fighters. The authorities are prosecuting the organization, and their leaders have been given life to prison. Congress passes law regulating private militia so that a crisis like this will never happen. Anderson, Mike, and Shanna's IA report on this epidemic becomes the most watched TV program of all time. After all that, Anderson, Mike, and Shanna went on vacation.
Great story, but I have other things to do.
And I have some loose ends to tie up. I'll see you later.